now we're just gonna talk about you, man.
Okay.
So
Who are you?
That's the question?
Yeah.
Oh, who am I? My name's Ramon Davis,
Oh.
a.k.a. DJFlyness. You want to hear my whole full name? Flyness's full name?
Yeah.
DJ
time ever.
Flyness Leo Young. Initials FLY, fly, still fly.
nice. Stay fly.
Jay Floyd.
Cool. Welcome back to another episode of our Humble Podcast. I am your host, GT, here with my amazing co-host, Christina. Christina, how you doing today?
Hot.
Yeah. It's been a hot day.
It was hot.
I don't know.
80 degrees
Going all day.
in February
Trying to stop the sweat.
in the Midwest.
I heard it's supposed to snow
We're
this
in
week.
trouble.
It's supposed to snow this week.
It's not gonna snow. It might rain.
I guess we'll see. Time will tell. It's been a while since we've been in the studio. For those who are actually watching on television, we gotta apologize. This has been just a completely not typical season at all. We've had to move some episodes around just because of crazy stuff. But that'd be a great point for if you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram and YouTube. Our Humble Podcast. Gotta make sure I pronunciate.
Work.
Today is actually an episode of Humble Kingz. We got the man, the myth, the legend, DJFlyness in the building.
That's my horn.
Listen, it felt weird for you to say his name and nothing to happen after. Like,
Right.
I feel like you should have had that set and you could have just
Yeah.
said
Cute it up there.
I could have had
Get
it
an
ready,
extra
too.
patch through the
I
computer.
really could have had it.
All right,
We literally
part two.
could have.
Part two.
Hold on, let's stop the show. We'll come back. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna insert that audio, so
You get it to
When they
Mike.
heard
He'll
it.
put it in there for sure.
they're gonna be like, "I heard it. What are you talking about?" Yeah, we put it in there.
Nice. Well, excited to finally have you on the show. You were actually supposed to be the second interview.
That's terrible. I should have been first.
I mean,
I thought you wanted to be last.
Say the best for last.
That's what he said. I'm talking about season 1. You were scheduled to be the second because T was the first.
Yeah,
And then it was going to be you, but we
I
had
told
to
you I
move
didn't
some
want to be
things
second.
around. So that's why you just didn't show
That's
up.
all about it.
He said, bump me to second season, last person.
I see how it is. Well, brother, it's good to have you in the studio.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Yep, it's
Thanks for
good to
being
be
here.
back here. Not on this show, but back in the studio.
Right?
Yep.
No stranger to KPAO.
Nope.
Why don't you share some of that? What are some of the shows
I
that you've done
DJ'd in here, comic show one time for Mr. Vegas. And I DJ here another time for Jerron Taylor. Well, actually, I don't think I DJ for Jerron Taylor. I think I just helped set up. Yeah, I just helped set up and do sound and all that because it was a lot. It's a lot when they need help.
They do. They bring a
It's a whole
production.
Yes.
Which is dope.
You're talking about like 15 people, 8 mics, the drummer, guitars, bass, piano, organ.
That's nice. They probably use like the whole
We
studio
use the whole, yes.
I was
Yeah.
literally just trying to like do a floor plan in my head.
Yeah,
and I'm
how
like,
it's
and there were
weird.
wires
Gotta fit on the
everywhere. We were
carpet.
running wires everywhere. But it looked nice though. We had it going. We was here
people
early.
on scaffolding, like.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's cool. And you said comic, like comedy, not comic book.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought
Comedy.
at first. That's because
No, yeah, they were
you know,
doing comedy and it wasn't clean comedy. I don't even know if y'all played that. Oh, here
It was highly edited.
Yes. Yes, it
every
was.
other word was bleeped out.
Yeah, man. But it was fun. It was funny.
That's cool.
Very funny.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know why I heard comic, and it's probably
Oh,
because I'm
you're
thinking
thinking
of
about the comic book show.
the Humble Kingz comic
Yeah.
book show. How's
Yeah.
that going?
It's going great. We
Yeah.
love it. No time limit. We talk until we feel like we're done talking.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh,
With
God.
T on the show.
So lovely with
With
T on
both
the
of them.
Yeah. And T's a hater. We all know
You
that.
never know what you're gonna get
love
yourself
him, but
into
he's
when
a hater.
When you tune in, you're like, I could be here for 30 minutes, or I could be here for 3
3
hours.
hours.
On one subject. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I love the comic book show. Check that out. Humble Kingz comic book show. It comes on right at the Humble King radio show.
Nice.
About 10:15.
Dope.
But it's fun.
That's not how we do this show.
Yeah, that's how we're
all
doing
the
it.
end stuff in the beginning.
Oh, I told you I was running the show. Told you.
So,
You're gonna take it over.
icebreaker.
Oh. Oh.
Icebreaker.
You got one?
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Batman or
question.
Spider-Man?
Batman.
Batman or
Batman.
Robin?
It's always gonna be Batman.
Batman's the number one.
I'm wearing a Batman belt right now. Belt buckle is Batman.
Interesting.
Nice. I'm glad you came prepared.
Nice icebreaker. What's
Was not
next?
at all.
He said what?
Now we're just gonna talk about you, man.
Okay.
So
Who are you?
That's the question?
Yeah.
Oh, who am I? My name's Ramon Davis,
Oh.
aka DJFlyness. You want to hear my whole full name? Flyness's full name?
Yeah.
DJ
First time ever.
Flyness Leo Young. Initials FLY. Fly. Still fly.
nice. Stay fly.
Jay Florida.
Cool. Dope, man. So just to kind of backtrack our history, I feel like out of everybody that's been on the show, I've known you the longest.
Okay.
Maybe Roger is up there, but we've done like the most together.
Okay.
It started off, I can't even remember where we met.
I remember where we met. I don't know the name of the park, but I remember it vividly.
You guys
I still got the
park?
A
picture
show
of it.
in the park.
Yeah. I still have the picture of it. It's the picture that when I first met you
Oh,
and
you're
Roger.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the park.
That wasn't Miller Park.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know parks names when.
I think I know
then,
the one
so
on Ames.
I have no idea where I was
Names
at.
and what?
By where we used to live. Anyway,
I know how to
I know a
pool.
park. Is that the park where is it? Was it the show where Jay Shannon put on, or was it a different show?
No, this is a different show.
Interesting.
It
Okay.
was a small park.
You guys hang out in parks a lot.
Not a small park, but it was a small event. It wasn't a big
Yeah.
event. That's it.
Hmm.
I just remember being with Andre. Andre told me to meet him there. I had no idea where I was at because I didn't know them all. And then he introduced me to you, and he introduced me to Roger, and we all took a picture. And I still haven't even heard.
One
what you
Life
guys
was there
had.
too, wasn't he?
I feel like I've seen that
No?
picture before.
Might have, but you have. You have.
Yeah.
I
must be
posted
thinking of
it
a
multiple
different show.
times. I think the last time I posted, I was like, "This is where I'll be in," because it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is it.
Was that the first show that you DJ'd, like Christian hip hop show?
That was the second.
The first one was Andre somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
At I can't think of the church right now, but I've been to that church a whole mess of time and I can't even think about it, the name of it. But it was their 100 anniversary,
Wow.
year
That's
anniversary, and so he was like, "Yeah, can you come DJ for me at this church?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I thought it was gonna be like in a rec. You know how churches have rec rooms and things like that. So I showed up, and I had my jersey on that say Flyness, looking good like always. Got my hat on. And then they were like, "Okay, you got to set up, and it's in the sanctuary." And I'm like, "Whoa, what do you mean set up here in the sanctuary? Like, look how I'm dressed. Oh no, everything's gonna be bad, you know." And they were like, "Oh no, it's good." And I'm like, "For real, we doing this?" Like churches, I know churches freak out about Christian hip hop. So yeah, we set up through their sound system. We did it. It wasn't the young people that came up to us. It was the older people, like the mothers in the church, who were
crazy.
like, "Keep doing what you're doing for Jesus. Keep doing what you're doing for Jesus, baby. Oh, y'all keep doing it. Just praise him how you praise him." That's how the talk went.
That's how they sound.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we went into the rec room and I talked to a couple of young people, and they were like in suits and dressed up. And they were like, "You a Christian?" And I was like, "Yeah." They were like, and they were just looking how I was dressed.
Like, wow.
Yeah, like you dressed like that. Like, yeah. So after that, I stopped dressing up for church. I stopped dressing up when I DJ. I was just stopped. Because sometimes people need to see that.
You would dress up when you DJ'd?
I would dress up when I go to church. If I was in the church, if it was a church service,
Yeah.
it didn't matter what the church service was. I was dressed up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So because you thought you weren't actually in the sanctuary.
Yeah, you're in the sanctuary, dressed
uncomfortable.
up. Yep.
Interesting.
But again, like there's people who need to see that. They need to see people not dressed up. They need to see people
Come as you are.
with tattoos. They need to see people with dreads or hair messed up or not shaved, whatever. You know, because it's all type of Christians. It's not this is what you look like as a Christian. There's all type of Christians. We all dress the same. We all look the same. We all walk differently. We all talk differently. So why are we all trying to be the same? Why are we all trying to act like this is how everybody act? Right? We got to get away from that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's that point that's keeping people from like,
Feeling comfortable.
you sure it's not a coat? Like, no, it's not. I promise you.
I was talking to a guy at church. We go to a Lutheran church now, and there's an older guy. He was dressed up, and I complimented him on his suit. And he made the point that he wants to clean up when he comes to worship God, and he wants to come and look his best. And since then, when I'm coming to church for service, I will dress up. When I grew up at a Baptist church, you know, we had to dress up.
Yeah.
But now, like, as an adult, we've been going to non-denominational churches, so it's like the pastor's wearing skinny jeans and t-shirts. So, you know, we dress a little more comfortably. But that just kind of, you know, like made me kind of question or second think it, you know?
Look, there's nothing wrong with dressing up for church. And I'm never going to say there's nothing wrong to make sure you look good, you know, in church. I think sometimes just making sure that you're actually doing it for God than for other people is the difference, and trying to make people think that they're wrong for the way that they go in. Like, you know, we got to have some standards. Let's not get it wrong. We got to have some type of standards. But we all shouldn't have to go in there dressing the same and be in our Sunday's best, right?
Church clothes.
That's going way back in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s. We're talking slavery times, right? Of Sunday's best. So everybody was working class. Unless you was rich, you never wore a suit. So, but you did buy suits for certain things, weddings, funerals, and church. That's your Sunday's best. That's the only time that you dress up. They started having movies, so let's dress up for the movies because we're gonna go to the movies. Let's dress up to go to the bar. Let's dress up to get on a plane. It all stayed that way. Let's put on that suit. Let's put on all that. Let's put on our Sunday's best because those are only good clothes that we have every time. Other than that, we're working. We're working all the time.
Right.
So that's where that come from. And
So
now we're not. Yeah. Now we're not in a situation where everybody is that working person that works 14 hours and just work all day, come home, eat, sleep, and go to bed and get up and do it all over again. Except for on Sunday, you're like, let me put some good clothes on because I'm gonna look good because the rest of the week I don't. Or we're going to the movies, let me put some good clothes on because the rest of the week I don't. A lot of us got to dress up for work.
For the movies.
Right. I mean, but look, if you never dressed up, I can understand that. But a lot of us now, we got dress codes at work. We got dress codes to go to the club. We got dress codes for a lot of things. So less than I need a dress code for church.
Same.
That's funny. Let's rewind a little bit. So, as long as I've known you, you've been Christian.
Yes.
And I know that you hadn't always DJ'd as a Christian.
Nope.
Let's talk about your point of coming to the faith. So what was that? What was growing up like for you? Did you grow up in a church or?
I grew up in a church. I went to this church called the Universal World Church.
Interesting.
Very flashy in LA, Los Angeles. It was very flashy. Like we had like this golden altar.
It sounds like it. Universal.
Yeah, Universal World Church.
Church.
Very huge. We had, you know,
The universe and the world.
golden thing that was on the back, and it was a golden. I almost said go to archers. Oh, golden altar.
We went to church
And
and
like
McDonald's.
when you went up to you know, for the pastor to lay hands on you, you couldn't wear shoes because it was holy ground.
Oh wow.
We had communion, but it was like for real bread. Yeah, it wasn't like the little nasty
wafer.
things that you put in your mouth.
Was it the cup or then they just wipe it off?
No.
Everybody drank from the
Oh, that's
same cup.
disgusting. No.
Right.
Been to a
We
church
had
like
the
that?
Catholic
They
church
We
do
had
do
cups
that.
like that. We had cups like that everybody got.
Okay.
that had the grape juice in it.
They
And
did
then we
grape
had a
juice,
big-
not wine.
Yeah, and then we had
That's a
the big, like this weird kind of loaf of bread that we ate that they made at the church. So yeah, it was a nice church. It was weird. As an adult, I'm like, oh, that was weird. You know what I mean? And I understand why my parents left. And then we didn't go to church too much as kids. After that, I say from about 12 into my teens and everything. When I moved out of the hood and then I moved back into the hood. So when I moved back, it was that worry about me getting into things and didn't want to. So I got heavy into the church. And then I let some stupid stuff push me out of the church. As now
tend to
that
do.
I'm older and more mature, I can see how dumb it was for me to go, oh, I'm not going to go to church anymore because that person did that. I should have just left and went to another church, all right? If I don't like a club, then I'm going to just go to the other club. If I didn't like that burger, I'm not going to stop eating burgers. I'm just going to go to another burger place. But I didn't do that with church.
Man, I feel like there's a message in that.
Yeah.
Like, church hurt is a real thing.
Yeah, it is real. Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, we're people, and people are gonna mess up. People are gonna say dumb stuff or hurt people's feelings or whatever. But that point of you can go to a different church.
Look, food poisoning is real, but it don't stop you from eating. Right?
Right.
You may not go to the restaurant no more, but you ain't gonna stop eating it.
Huh.
You sure ain't gonna stop it. So why stop going to church?
That's why I don't go to Valentino's.
Well, there goes a sponsor.
I've been to 2 Valentinos, and both times I got food poisoning. Nope, not anymore.
Or maybe your stomach just couldn't take it.
It's really greasy food,
Some
though.
bad grease or something.
I get real bad heartburn from this, so I ain't gonna even say it.
Yeah. Sorry, Valentino. Stop watching that.
But
But anyway, so yeah, I went to church and I stopped and I stopped and what happened? I started getting into stuff. Started doing some things that I don't even talk about. I keep to myself because it's that crazy. And you're not proud of, and you go, oh man, I hope God forgives me. And you know He's gonna forgive you, but you ain't really forgave yourself for it. So you kind of stick with it in your head because it's always somebody's gonna remind you of what you did, right?
Right.
So I had my daughter in 2010. 2009, I'm sorry.
Are you still in California?
Yeah, I'm still in California. I had my daughter in 2009. I get custody of her the following year. God tells me to quit my job and move to Missouri. Misery, they call it that.
Misery. Yep.
So I quit my job. I take this buyout that they just happen to offer. So I take this buyout and I quit my job.
That's crazy.
I take my daughter.
What were you doing?
And I moved to Missouri. I was working for the LA Times.
Oh, nice.
Pre-press. I would get the paper, all the rows ready for the press, to go in the press. So I would be there while the press is running. Hot off the press, I would grab stuff from hot off the press and read it.
The first take.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Yeah, it's still like the ink is still wet or whatever.
That's crazy.
So, not poisonous, so it doesn't matter. I forget what it was. It was like maybe some type of plant.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I get custody of my daughter.
Move to Missouri.
Move to Missouri. I try to move to St. Louis, Missouri. I'm like, oh, I'm finna run this. God was like, no, you're finna move to Columbia, Missouri. Like, I didn't even know where Columbia was. So we moved there. Mizzou, if y'all don't know where Columbia is at, is Mizzou. It's literally in the middle between Kansas City and St. Louis, literally 2 hours either way. So we went there, found this church called Step of Faith Church, had a dream about it the night before. I didn't know if it was a white church, black church, mixed church, whatever. Literally had a dream about it. Walk into church, everything is exactly how it was in my dream. And then there was things that he was saying in there that was exactly like in my dream. So I knew I was supposed to go there. So I started going there, struggled for like a year or whatever. But I was going there and I could see that he could tell that I was struggling. So he put me in media and was like, I want you to do sound because that's what you know how to do and stuff like that, you know. So it was important that he did that because it was like I probably would have been missing a week or missing 2 weeks or whatever. But I was like,
your
I need to show
responsibility.
up. I had a responsibility, so I had
Yeah.
to show up every Sunday. And so once I met my wife and we started working together and we got married, then it was just like 180. And that was it.
Were you already attending church before you went to that church, before you moved to Missouri?
No, I had stopped.
Okay.
I haven't gone to church and when did I move? When did I move? I was 31 and I stopped going to church. I was 24, maybe 23, 24.
Okay. That point that you made is interesting. I actually had an experience that was the opposite, where the church asked me to stop volunteering for media because of stuff that was going on in my life. But they saw this as an opportunity to minister to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the church and like your life gets crazy and you're doing ministry, sometimes it is best for you to step back because maybe you need to catch the word or anything like that. But sometimes it's very important sometimes for people, especially like me, because I can get bored fast. It's important that, hey, we're gonna put you over here and we're gonna have you work here. Because I feel like if you're not doing nothing, if you're not serving, you're just gonna fall off. You're gonna not come. You're gonna find somewhere else to serve. You're gonna find something else to do to consume your time. So there, I appreciate that my pastor noticed that, that I needed to do that. Now, was there times where he was like, I need you to come from behind that booth and come sit down and come listen to this? Yeah. But I was back there when he pulled me back there. I needed it.
Yeah.
You know.
So talk about DJing. I know you were not. You were DJing before you were saved.
Yep.
Right. How did you get into DJing?
By accident.
I found it.
I used to rap,
Okay.
and we used to have this 4-track cassette recorder. You know what that is?
Yeah.
I'm showing my age. Okay,
Right.
so most people don't know, but it's a little cassette recorder. You hit record, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a little switch that you can switch, and then you run your mic or your sound through it, and it allows you to play back, listen to everything, and add another track, another layer of your song or whatever, however you want to call it.
That's crazy.
So we're going around. We're feeling ourselves because we have done all these talent shows and we won them all, and we're performing in clubs.
Who is we?
Everybody. Well, I was in a rap group.
Oh,
Yeah, so I was in a
what group?
rap group.
I thought you said a rock group.
Oh,
I was like,
rap
what?
group. Let me. Circle. All right. Rap group.
Okay. What was the name?
FNC.
FNC?
Yep.
Is there, can you
Don't.
find it? What?
Don't ask me what it meant.
He knows I'm gonna say it. Get your sister buddy ready, because you know I'm gonna say it.
Bleep yourself.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So that's why he said no.
Don't ask. Were you asking, is there music available?
I was going to say, can you find it online anywhere?
No, even if you could, I would have took it down.
Okay.
Because that would have been.
Who else did that when it was on here? Josh.
JC? Yep.
No, it's not that it wasn't good. It's just the embarrassment
Content.
of what I was talking about.
So-
Like my last song was great. Production wise, man, I was on it. On it. Live bands, live guitar, live bass. Everything you hear in there was live. It was all done like instant. Like we were just messing around and we're just, man, it was just one of those things where you just feel it. I'm in there with a band and we're just feeling it.
Okay.
But the content was terrible.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I
Can
still
we
have
hear
my
it sometime?
Still.
I will listen with a
I will send it
non-judgmental
to
ear.
you. No, you won't. Watch, I'm gonna send it
Here
to
you
you.
go look at him different.
I will. She is. I'm telling you. She is, because she's gonna be like, oh my God, he made a whole song about this.
Listen, I've heard some songs in my day, and
WAP ain't got nothing on the song that I'm gonna send you.
That's crazy.
I said it.
Okay, so
Oh,
DJ.
anyway, so we're feeling ourselves. I asked my mom. It's me, my brother, my uncle, my cousin.
that's who's in
In
the band?
group. Yep,
Okay.
in the group. And I asked my mom, hey, can we do a party? Because we get all these numbers from girls. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna DJ. And I was like, okay, so we DJ at a party. And I used that 8-track to listen to songs before. I had 2 CD players stacked on top of each other, and I would play music. And I also had a record player, and my dad had thousands of records. So I would use that to play.
Wow.
My cousin showed up at this party who lives in LA. I wasn't living in LA at this time, I'm 17. And she was like, oh, you're good. You should charge people to do that. And I'm just thinking she just, gassing me up. So about 2 weeks later, she calls and she goes, hey, I got this friend who's doing a party and I told him about you. And I was like, and she's like, how much you gonna charge? And I'm like, I don't know. My mom's like, $150. So I'm like, okay. So we drive down there, we go do it, and we're literally on the balcony, and everybody else is inside, which is hard because I can't see anybody, so I'm just playing music. And then somebody else came out and they were just like, can I get your number because you were good? And that just kept happening. It just kept snowballing.
So did you take that whole setup?
Yes. Yep, a bunch of records, the 2 CDs.
That's how I used to DJ.
Yeah.
Huh.
It literally had air crates. Yeah, and I did that.
You said egg crates?
Yep,
That's
them big air crates. And I did that forever until I got CD turntables. And then I didn't have to take as many CDs. I didn't have to tape the records because I will record them, audio record them, and then burn them onto a CD. So it made it a lot easier. And then I would just make like these little mixtapes that was like easy because I knew the songs that I would have to play.
So you appreciate the advancements in technology.
Oh, yes.
MP3s.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let me just download that track real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Nice.
How old was I? I was 23 when I found out about that from like this 19-year-old kid. And, and he was making me feel like I was old. He's like, you don't know how to DJ with the Seratos? I'm like, holy crap. Okay. Tell me about it. But go ahead. I know we're on time.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the first part of this interview. That's interesting hearing that story. I had no idea. But if you could just let the people know where they can find you, how they can connect with you if they wanted to just reach out, be in touch.
Easy. Maybe it's hard. Easy. It's DJFlyness, DJFlyness, anything. Gmail, Yahoo, Facebook,
Everywhere.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I own them all.
You
No
want to
numbers.
drop the comic book show again one more time?
Oh, Humble Kingz Comic Book Show. Just type it in. Humble Kingz Comic Book Show. Watch us every Tuesday night, right at the Humble Kingz Show, about 10:15 Central Standard Time.
And that's Kingz with a
With
Z.
a Z.
With a Z, yep, because we don't know how to spell. All right, we'll be right back with the second part of this interview with DJFlyness.
Welcome back to another episode of our Humble podcast. I'm Christina, and with me, I have George. GT.
That's weird because I can't call him George. It's
George.
George.
And with
That's
me, I
my
have-
name.
With me,
GT.
I have George Dine Turner the Fourth.
What's funny is when we were talking about like how we're gonna address each other on the show, I asked her, "You want to be like Chrissy, Christina, whatever, CT?" And she was like, "Just Christina," but she doesn't let me call her Christina in everyday life.
Yeah, and I don't
What's
like
he
to
call
call.
Chrissy, babe.
Yeah, preferably that.
Okay.
Like when he says Christina, I feel like I'm in trouble. We're at that point because I don't know. Like we when we first met, we talked a lot like on the phone, so he wasn't saying my name a lot. And so then it was like
says it.
Chrissy. Yeah. So when he's like Christina, I'm like, what? I'm like,
you want?
what?
What do you want?
I'll literally be like, why'd you say my name like
Yeah,
that?
because every
Just like,
time
why
when
do you
he's
say
talking
my
about
name?
you to me, he says Christina. So I
Yeah.
didn't know that he called you something different.
No. So I'll be like, what is the problem? And George is weird to me because it's like GT. I met, you know what I mean?
That's how
and
we
even
met him,
then
right?
I don't call
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
GT, I don't know.
So I had to remember to say George to other people. Like, this is George or GT. Depends on
You got
what
other
we're
people
doing.
calling me GT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what I call you. And
call me
it,
GT,
if it's
whatever.
about an event, I'm just going to introduce you as GT, unless it's like something personal. It's just the same. I'd rather you say Flyness. And you guys know how I am, especially when it comes to when I'm in flyness mode is what I call it. It's like,
Shoot,
I'm like,
who's Ramon?
don't call me Ramon, right? You say my name, I'm like, who's Ramon? Like,
Right.
Ramon is not here right now. It is flyness. Flyness Leo Young is here right now.
What's your name again, man?
Caleb.
Caleb. We were just, this whole conversation came up because we were talking to Caleb and I introduced myself as George. We connected on a personal level.
He's trying to leave. You're like, hey, you, what's your name?
He's like, you're not talking to me.
Hey,
The cameraman.
I just want to use this as a chance to say thank you to the KPAO production team.
Thank you, guys.
You guys do
are
a
awesome.
great job. A lot of times, the people behind the scenes don't get any recognition.
I know.
And when
We
they
know.
do, they freeze like
Yep.
a deer in the headlights. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, we'll give you recognition if something go wrong. What's that feedback?
Right, right. What's
You
the
know,
sound guy
but we
doing?
won't say, hey, you did a great job. There was no feedback.
Yeah.
You know, this is why at church, every time we get done, I always go to my sound man, both because like we got a whole system in the back. So one person is doing the sound out there. My daughter is doing the
Broadcast?
yeah,
Or slides?
No, not the slide. The slides for inside the church, for the projector. Sorry, and then I'm doing the slides and everything, and switching the video for the stream, and then somebody's also running the sound just for the stream.
Gotcha.
So it's 4 of us. So every time we get done, I'm always telling them like, great job, guys, great job, blah 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 blah. You know, one of them asked me, he was like, why do you always say that? Why do you always say, man, you did a great job, you're the best, da, da, da. I was like, because people ain't going to tell you. They're not going to acknowledge you unless
It's a
something's
thankless
wrong.
job.
Yeah, they're not going to say anything unless something's wrong. So it's important that you get that nice. I tell people all the time, you cannot do sound, you cannot run cameras, you cannot do sound or media, especially in a church, and not be thick-skinned. Because you're not going to get thank yous. You're not going to get praises. You know, you're just going to get the weird look like, what is that? It's my mic. It's not deep. What's that I'm hearing? That's all you get it.
It's not
Everybody else they're going to think their wife, they're going to think their elders, the minister, the praise team, the choir, you know, the band, everybody get it. Everybody except for the sound people.
Yep. Honestly, man, if you guys are paying me, I don't need a thank you. Let the paycheck be my thank you.
You know, look, I do it for the
But at
Lord.
church,
Yeah,
right?
I do
Yeah.
it for the Lord. So you don't, but you do have to be a little thick-skinned because you're gonna hear. It does. I don't have to get that praise of thank yous and stuff like that, but it is hard for a person to only hear negatives and never get that positive.
Definitely, absolutely.
Rather if you're working or not, and getting paid for it or not. I mean, so
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of
it's
sense.
important to give them that. It's important.
For those who don't know, our guest today is DJFlyness, none other than the one and only
Ramon Davis.
DJFlyness.
Yes, I'm not the one that only DJFlyness, but I'm the one that only without a 1 or a number behind their name.
You're the OG.
The OG,
The original DJFlyness.
I did have a icebreaker.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's necessary now because we've been talking.
Go ahead.
But where's the favorite place that you've traveled?
To DJ
Sure.
In life.
in life.
Both.
Both.
Let's do both.
In life would be Canada.
Ooh.
just
I
talking
was
to somebody that
I
from
was in
Canada.
British Columbia in this city called Long Beach.
That's crazy.
On the I don't know what they're called. They're natives there. Native Canadians. I don't know.
Canadians?
No, but they have like Native American, like how we have Native Americans. They
Native
have that
Canadian.
too.
Forgive us. We know not what we do.
But
I was so confused. I didn't realize that that's like the group of people you were talking about. I
yeah,
was like Canadians.
because
Like,
I was talking about it to somebody too, and they were like Eskimos.
Like
I was
on
like, no, that's Alaska. Like,
on a reservation.
yeah,
Native-
they're reservations,
Native
but I don't know.
Canadians.
They're natives. That's what I was trying to say. But
Native
they,
Americans.
but
Oh.
no, it wouldn't be Native
Native
Americans.
Canadians.
They're Native Canadians. That's why I wasn't being funny when I said it.
Oh, no. We
Hilarious.
got work to do.
But yeah, so they have a reservation too, and you only can get on there if you know somebody. So my uncle was dating somebody at the time, so we got the camp on the beach, right on the beach. We got to eat seafood right up there, mussels, everything, because the water was so clear and clean and stuff like that. So that will be the most interesting place that I visit. DJing, Wow. There's been a lot. Saved or unsaved?
Both.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So saved will be Chicago. When we went to Chicago.
That was
And we
fun.
did
That's
the Good
when we
Vibe-
went?
The Good Vibe
Yeah,
Chicago.
let's go. That was dope. That was a dope
Yeah,
trip.
that was fun. Unsaved. Try to keep it clean.
Las Vegas.
I'm gonna say this party that I did in LA one time. I don't remember where it was at, but because I've never been in that area, but I remember I had to call somebody that we knew, this girl that we knew that lived in that area. And because in LA, you can't just go into other people's hood and make money. You gotta have passes, right? Or you gotta know somebody to have that pass, right? You go there, and they're like, "Who are you?" "I'm Flyness." Ask Crazy Loc about me, and they're called, and they'd be like, "Oh, Flyness, he did some work for me. Watch him, make sure he good." Blah blah blah. So this is why I said I've gone to different hoods, and I've never got jumped. I've never been threatened. I've never been shot at or anything like that while DJing. I never had to pay taxes while DJing. So anyway, so I'm going into this hood, and it's not a safe color hood, red. So I call up a friend. She's like, "Yeah, I live not too far over there. I know somebody, blah, 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 we'll be there." So we go over there, and I'm still kind of on these CD turntables, but not the newer ones, which you can scratch on. They're just the ones that you can speed up, speed down, pause, and all that other stuff. So if you bump the table, like on House Party, it will skip. So we're in this house, and a lot of houses in LA are kind of like in South Omaha. They're kind of up. You got to walk up steps to get in there, and it's kind of up higher. So I'm in there DJing, it's wood floor, and all of a sudden somebody was like, "Play this song," and I don't remember what song it was. I think it was a DMS song. And I look over to my right, and it's like 3 people doing this dance step to this song. I was like, "That's interesting." And they stop, and I look to my left, and there's like 5 people doing the dance step after they just
Was
did
it the same one or is there a response?
No, it's probably different ones.
That's
And I'm like,
the same dance?
Bro, this was You Got Served right in front of my face before You Got Served and came out.
That's awesome.
I promise you. And I'm like, what is happening? And then they're doing their thing, and I'm like, okay, and I look over, and it's like 6 people now instead of the 3. You know, because it started off with 3 women, now it's 3 guys, and they're like flipping and doing crazy stuff.
That's dope.
And they were doing it, and I say about the record skip because when they went to the next verse, they were doing this crazy stump, and it kept making the record skip.
No.
And I'm like, stop. Like,
He's catching my CD.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so cool, but stop. Because it was like, so I couldn't describe it as You Got Served back then because it wasn't a You Got Served. So we described it as the house party scene.
Okay.
And so, you know, I always take people with me to watch my back. I will pay them to carry stuff. And I still talk to them. You know, I'll be like, "Remember the house party? And they'd be like, "Yeah," because, you know, they were just dancing. It was crazy. They had these steps. So awesome. I would say that one was because that one had the most craziest, but I probably did the nicest is what I did a white party where everybody had to wear white or cream. And I still got to be hood with it.
Nice.
So I wore the white Raider jersey, and with some white, because it was hot outside, so I wore some white khaki shorts.
Okay.
With my white shoes on. So yeah, I think I have a picture somewhere, and I got 2 Patron bottles in my hand. That's when I used to drink.
Oh,
Patron.
I don't like white
So I
parties.
got through the day.
Why?
Because it's so much stress.
White party?
White?
Yeah.
Really?
Dirty?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't wear
So much
white.
They have a lot of rules. A lot of rules.
Well, we're already halfway through.
Yeah,
Our
this interview
second.
was just flying.
It's just we got the Flyness.
I could go all day.
So let's talk about what drives you in life. I think you do a lot to inspire and to give to people. What drives you?
Just trying to do good. I did a lot of bad in my life. I also did some good, but I did a lot of bad in my life. But being there for people, helping people that can't do certain things for you. One of the first jobs I had when I moved, and I've been doing it ever since, is caregiving. Caregiving is so humbling, right? You're helping people who can't do the simplest things. Maybe they can't read, They can't use the restroom for themselves. They can't get themselves dressed. They can't make their own food, whatever. So that's very humbling and rewarding to help somebody that actually appreciates it, not the money.
Depend on it.
And depends on it and not the money, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with helping in church. It's like God doesn't need me. He's going to use me if I allow it, but he doesn't need me. The church doesn't need me, you know, but they love it when I help. They love it when I help, right?
Yeah.
So just everything. It's the thing that people say a lot is you have a giving spirit and you have that spirit of help. You have that helping spirit and that giving spirit. So it's something that I can't control. I love to give. Rather it's my time, my effort, my money, whatever. Me and T was just talking about money the other day.
Okay.
About giving. And I was like,
he's trying to get your tithes because he's a pastor?
no, he wasn't trying to get my tithe. But I was asking him about, do he use Giveify at his church? Because I randomly would give churches money, randomly, on Giveify. And I like it because I don't have to depend on them to mail me something and say, here's how much you gave. It's all right there on Giveify.
Interesting.
And I was telling him, I was like, man, when I first got saved, I wasn't ready to make the money that I make now, right? I didn't have a problem giving my 10%. I didn't have a problem giving my offering. The problem was when I got that paper that said, hey, you gave us $7,000 this year. And I'm like, oh, the devil's in your ear saying, this is what you could have did with that money. Right? So as I had to get out of that spirit of that. You know, I was saying that I was giving it out of because I wanted to and I enjoy it, but then I see that total giving, then I'm like, oh, you know. So I wasn't ready to make the money that I make now. And I was telling T, I said, now they have this thing on Giveify where they show how much you are from last year to where you at this year. And I always try to beat that, right? I always try to beat that, always.
Yeah.
You know, and I always try to make sure I'm giving because it's like, hey, Ramon, you in the top 2% of giving in all of Giveify, and I'm trying to get in that 1%. And I was like, man, they did this thing, and if I wasn't ready, it would have messed me up. And T was like, what? And I go, this thing shows you your total giving that you have did. Total.
Like lifetime?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So since 2017, it showed it.
Jeez.
And T was like, well, how much have you give? And I was like, I show you. And I showed him, and he looked at me. It was $106,000.
Wow.
Right? And he looked at me like, what the heck? And I was like, yeah. If you're not prepared for that, you're not prepared to see that you gave that much money. You didn't spend it, you gave it.
Right.
That's just in that app. That's not including the other things that I do that's not in the app. It will mess with you.
Is it safe to say, and I'm just prying here,
No.
10%, that means like over the course of since 2017, 2007?
2017.
So you've made over $1 million.
It was.
Started the Kevin or
No, I have not made
Cat
$1 million.
Williams.
I have not made $1 million yet. All that wasn't tied. All that wasn't tied. Some of that was offering.
Above and beyond. Okay.
Yep. And sometimes I give more of my tithes. So I usually don't give exactly 10%.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's a little bit more than that. It's 11. But sometimes I would just go, I'm just going to give 20.
Why do you give so generously? I know you're kind of getting at that.
I don't even know why. Like money is like an object to me. It's just, I feel like money is placed in my life to help people. It's not there for me to live fancy. I hope I don't live fancy to you guys.
I mean, you got a nice house. I would.
Yeah. I'm blessed with my house.
But
and
no,
you're
not driving like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I'm not in there on that. I'm not blinged out.
Right.
I hope that I never I hope this didn't feel like I was throwing money in your face or anything like that or anything, because that's never what my intention is. It's just that there were one point where I remember vividly, it was about 2015, saying, God, can you allow me to make more money so that I can do more with that money.
Yeah.
And I was dead serious when I said it. And it's now it's putting that money, now it's putting, you know, your mouth where your money is, or however you say it. the
Right
phrase.
where your mouth is.
However the phrase go. But I was like, here it is now. He put it there. What you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
What you gonna do with
It's
it?
like literally you are blessed to be a blessing.
Right.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do with it? That's it. It wasn't like you have to do this or you have to do that. It was just, what are you gonna do with it now? Let's see what you do. Because I bless you with it. You said you were gonna do something with it. So let's see what you're gonna do.
That's good. So what is life teaching you in this season of life?
That I don't know yet.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah, because I am like, my health is not good. So I have to slow down on some things and figure out a lot of stuff. So I don't know what the outcome is yet. Has not been revealed.
Gotcha.
Yet. Hopefully it's just a huge testimony of how good it is, how good God is. Well, it's always a testimony of how good God is, but this can be a great, awesome testimony. I was telling you that I was doing the thing with Takara the other day.
Yeah.
At the thing. So this is the second time I've been there, and they're talking about writing a book. So I decided I'm going to write a book.
Let's go.
So we'll see.
Inspired.
We'll see how this work out.
That's cool.
I even got my intro.
You know what it's going to be about?
This is going to be about my life.
Okay.
So either you're going to read it or you're not. But
You're going to tell all your stories?
well, yeah.
Is that
As long as it's not going to get me put in jail. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking that. You were just saying like you have things that like you just keep to yourself. So I was
There are things that I keep to myself. It's hard for people. Look.
Are those things going to be in your book?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They are. So look, I've had issues with cops from the moment I was 6 or 7. I've had a gun held on to me by a cop and when I was told, if you put your hands down, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm standing there crying
crazy.
and snot coming out my nose. That's as a child.
Okay.
That's as a child, not as an adult. So that is how my book is going to start off, right? I've been shot at. I had guns pulled out on me. I've been almost stabbed. I've been almost kidnapped. I've been molested. I been around drugs. I got bitten by a pit bull. This is all before the age
Not
of
the pit
18.
bull.
This is all before the age of 18 years old. All that has happened to me.
That's crazy.
Right? And deal with racism. I moved to a city where it was just mostly white and, you know, got picked on because I was black and they didn't understand the word bad when I was like, hey, that's bad. Well, why you gonna say bad? Like, you know. So all that before the age of 18.
So I'm not going to tell you what you're learning in this season. I'm just going to tell you how I just microphone how I just received everything you said. So your health is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's forced you to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And in slowing down, now you are starting the process of writing a book and relieving your spirit of all these things that you've held on to for your life. Might be something.
Prophesizing over here. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe you're learning how to
I'm gonna
slow
like
down.
this when it comes out on YouTube, so it stays there so I remember it.
So are you going to put the name of your music group in the book?
Yes.
The whole
You'll
name?
probably see it before then, but
Yes.
You can just text me the name when you text me the music.
Look,
They can't hear it.
we
We're those people.
when people asked us what was our name, we said FNC. My name is Flyness, so you can figure out the first part. Last word is click. You can figure out the N.
No.
Still can't.
And
Wow. NWA.
You said click is the last one?
click is in group.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
See the
Did you get that on
eyes light up.
camera? I hope you got that on camera.
Saw her eyes light up, but she got it.
Wow.
That's funny. This is Black History Month. How are you celebrating?
I don't celebrate Black History Month
Why not?
because I'm Black 365, 366 this year.
True that?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I celebrate Juneteenth. We do the parade and all that.
Juneteenth parade, for sure.
But that's about it. So
Okay.
I I don't celebrate Black History Month. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It is important, especially in schools, because sometimes schools don't teach everything that they should. It's considered woke. It's not. It's considered history.
Which is crazy, right?
Right? You know, let's take this history out and leave the good part in. Like, you know, that's usually how history works. But I've been blessed to have some teachers that taught me the real stuff. So some that were Black and some that were white.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't celebrate Black History Month only just because it's not we only get 1 month and it's the shortest month or whatever. It's just
And everybody talks about Valentine's Day anyway.
Yeah. It's just that.
It's the month of love.
Yeah, it's just, I know that everybody's going to concentrate on stuff. I don't use this month just to concentrate on it. I continue learning as much as I can on our heritage and our culture and things like that.
All the time.
You know, because, you know, all we got is what's here, right?
Yeah.
You know, we say our history starts from slavery, which it don't. But for a lot of us, that's all we know.
That's all we know.
That's all we know. Oh, I came from Africa, and we don't.
Roots.
And Africa is not even a country, so we don't even know where in Africa
true.
we're from.
Dang, that's
You know,
that's a good point. Hey,
that's how bad it is.
That's a whole continent.
Right,
whole
that's how bad it
continent,
is. It's like,
yeah.
I'm from Africa.
It's
That's
somewhere
like,
over there.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're in Africa.
That's
Well,
like being like, I'm from the U.S.
right.
Right.
They're gonna ask you where from. So, and we don't even know. We have no idea. You know, unless we pay $250 and do the little DNA thing, and maybe. You know,
And
we get
maybe
it from
it's
that.
right.
You know, maybe. You know, but
I got trust issues.
yeah.
So we did the Black Business Expo with Sarah this past weekend, actually while you guys were at the fashion show. And the news was there and they interviewed me and they like made a point of asking why is it important to support Black businesses. Obviously we don't have the same opportunities as like a Walmart, Sam's Club. Like they inherit their money and they have the marketing budget and all these things. But the other part of that is like, I feel like America is this big melting pot. It is important to know and, you know, understand, respect our history, but like we're creating our story. We're creating history today with what we're doing with Humble Kingz, with what we're doing with this podcast and the different relationships and things that we have, the way that we're serving our community. Like these are stories that will, you know, there'll be history at some point in time.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I have a friend. She's my best friend. She's half Black, half white, and she went to New York a couple of years ago, and she got to see. They have this book or a placard or something like that, where you can look at the people who came here, who immigrated here. Say the word for me.
Migrated.
Thank you. Here. From other countries, and she was able, you know, she was like, oh, there's my great-great-grandma, da-da-da-da. And I remember being sad because I was like, I don't get to do that, you know. As far as I get to go back is my great-great-great-great-granddad was born into slavery. My grandma has a picture of him. He was born into slavery and then freed as a child.
Wow.
So that's as far as I can go back.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
Yeah.
I'm George IV, and I don't know nothing about George I.
See, there we go.
That's crazy. Well, I wanted to. We're running out of time.
There's going to be a part two. There's going to be a part two. Yeah, because I have a crazy life. I have a crazy life.
The music, right?
Yeah.
You getting into DJing, and it started with you rapping. You've been writing music. So y'all be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be some music from DJFlyness coming. You're gonna use the same name, DJFlyness? Mm-hmm. Nice. Looking forward to that. And just so much more stories, so much more conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to use my original rap name. It was like Mr. R. It's like an homage to old hip hop. Run DMC, LL Cool J. You have to have a letter in your name, right? You got GT, see?
Can you imagine introducing, and now, Mr. R.
Mr. R, Mass D, Cass-I-E, Neuron. That was our names.
Okay, nice. If you can let the people know where they can reach you at again, for those who missed the first part.
DJFlyness, DJFlyness I own everything: Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, everything.
All of it.
I'm not always on social media though. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say he's dropping all this, but
Yeah.
he's never really on it.
If you want to catch me, Snapchat and X is where you want to catch me. For real. Do not Facebook message me. It's going to take me 2 weeks to get to you. I only
And
take
by
about
2 weeks, he means like 2 months. Maybe even not then.
And make sure you watch the Humble Kingz radio show and the Humble Kingz comic book show right after it on Facebook.
Facebook, Twitter,
Twitter.
YouTube.
Got it. Awesome. Man, thank you for joining us. It's been great having you on our Humble podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please follow us on Facebook, and we'll see you next time.